In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight, and sitting across from me is the one, the only, Cash Kraus.
I'm here, living, surviving, thriving.
We got to get that on a shirt.
We do. We got to get it on there. I know.
It's ours now.
It is. We claimed it.
We did.
But yeah, here for another New Movie Monday.
We are, yes. This will
Can
be
we
our
say
Monday
that?
episode. Yes,
All
sir.
right, let's say it. Yeah, doing Pieces of a Woman. Not to be confused
a
with
lighthearted comedy.
Scent of a Woman, the Al Pacino film. Don't confuse the two.
Okay, yeah, don't do it.
Don't. But yeah, just a
Lighthearted comedy, a lot of fun things happening.
Yeah,
in this
I would compare
movie.
this to like a Medea's family vacation reunion.
Yeah, of course.
Any one of
A lot
those.
of
Some of the film. No, this is a very
heavy film.
depressing
Yeah,
film.
super depressing.
I knew it was going to be depressing. I was putting it off to watch it because I knew it was just going to take my mood from here to here. Yeah.
We kind of did the wrong thing here in reverse order of our reviews.
Yeah, unfortunately, we reviewed an incredibly fun movie first.
We did.
Now we are ending the day
On a downer.
on a fucking downer,
say
man,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Pieces of a Woman. A story that me and you could definitely relate to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times have you and I gone through this traumatic experience?
Yes, absolutely. Or just knowing about childbirth in general.
Right.
Something that I'm sure people come to this podcast to listen to two
Midwives.
two
Talk about
midwives
how
talking about that.
to deliver a baby.
Exactly.
successfully.
Yeah. If you don't know about Pieces of Woman, kind of controversial. I remember seeing it a lot on Netflix about 3 weeks ago. Then some things about the co-star came out, Shia LaBeouf, and Netflix took it off its top 10. Kind of pushed it in the back catalog.
Yeah, that's so frustrating for me because it's like, one person is not responsible for a film.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they didn't take it off Netflix. They just did not make it a top 10, the top 10, if that means you could just take off the top 10,
Then
that
is
means
it
the top
really
10
a top 10?
means obviously nothing.
Of course not. It's what they want to promote.
Yeah,
That's all it
exactly.
is. It's
That's
their
why you get
algorithms.
films that were made 20 years ago on the top 10. All of a sudden,
And you're like, what the fuck? They're just promoting it hard. Yeah.
yeah, all of a sudden Terminator 3 is on the top. I'm like,
The
what?
worst Terminator of all time.
Now
And there have been some bad ones.
Now we got to
since.
see that? I don't understand. But yeah, it was taken off there. There was some heat with Shia LaBeouf, which is nothing new.
It's nothing new. Unfortunately, he's had a very turbulent life.
Yeah, he...
Where you think he's on the up and up. He does Honey Boy. We're like, good, some healing for this man. And then he kind of backslits.
He needs a lot more.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That guy just needs to take years off and just go to therapy every day, 7 days a week. Because it's...
What was the controversy specifically, though? What was he... Wasn't it...
it was between him and his ex.
Yeah, that's right.
FAK Twigs, I think her name is, a British singer. But I read about it. It's fucked up. It's like mental, like torture. Some of the stuff that he do, he's really fucking with her. But it's a little more believable in his case because he has a fucking wild history of being extremely violent, even towards police officers and just random fucking people that he just happens to run into.
And it is a shame, and it's very hard to do this. We talk about it all the time, separating the artist from the art.
Yeah, you got to do it, but yeah, he's had
Because he's a
But
phenomenal
you got to remember
actor.
that these people are human also,
They are.
and he which gives no excuse, but we know he had a very fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
as probably most actors. Yeah. But a lot of them still maintain some kind of resemblance of humanity. So Shia LaBeouf, tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. That's all we're asking. We're asking because we'd like to see you in more film. You're a phenomenal actor, but
we would, but I not at the cost of torturing people, Shia. It's not worth it's not worth a Terminator every 5 years. Not, okay, no. So cool down a bit, Shia. Come on, you got a lot of fire. But he is good in this though. But the star of the show who will most likely be nominated for an Oscar.
If not, I will be extremely upset.
Is Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah.
Who does an amazing job. And I'm going to say this film is not perfect. It's not a spectacular film. It's the first half hour is great, but it never keeps the momentum of the first half hour. The first half hour is harrowing. It's fucking wild. And also half the time I was like this. I didn't want to watch it. It's brutal, man. It's very brutal, and not what you're
happen.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What sucks about it. It's like, but
you did not think it was going to go for 30 minutes.
No, and I was a little confused at first because the baby was born, and I was like, and then it was like breathing, and I'm like, hold on. I had to pause the movie and look up the synopsis because I thought I got it wrong. I was like, I thought the baby died.
Well, if you literally kept watching for 30 more seconds.
Well, you know me.
You should give that a little more of a chance.
I would have given it a little more of time. But when I heard the baby crying and breathing, I'm like, hold on. Am I wrong on this synopsis? Unfortunately, the baby met its demise. Had cardiac arrest, I guess.
I think they're just call it SIDS. They just sudden infant. But yeah, it's a crazy opening.
Yeah, it is.
But again, it never keeps that momentum. It just gets slower and slower from there. But
it had a lot of Manchester by the Sea vibes. Not in the story, obviously they're completely different stories, but in the kind of dread that you feel and kind of the depressing story.
And how in Manchester by the Sea he eternalized all his pain. Kept it all up. She does the exact same thing. Although I have to say Manchester by the Sea does grief better than Pieces of a Woman does. Yeah. It is. It's just a all-around better film. This film is very loose. It feels almost like a student film at times. It feels like a lot of people have said it, and I would have to agree. At times, it just feels like an acting exercise, where it's like they're getting Shia LaBeouf, Vanessa Kirby in a room, and the director goes, "Okay, your baby just died. Go." And then it's like them just kind of. Because they're such good actors, they can do that. But it feels very loose and very blunted at times. Yeah. But a lot of people says it feels like an acting exercise, and I would agree it does. But the first 30 minutes, though, is great.
It is.
It's great, and God, did not make me want to have a kid.
Yeah, it was a half an hour opening, one single take. It only took them 6 times to do that. 6 takes.
Well, it's the biggest fucking proponent for hospitals I've ever seen.
That is, to each is their own, whatever.
Exactly.
I'm not saying anything on that, but for me personally,
here's the thing.
I don't understand why you don't go to a hospital.
Here's the thing about having, well, for one, the infant mortality rate in America, very high. It's very fucking high for developed countries. So I see the reason. But here's the thing about being in a hospital. One doctor fucks up, you could turn around and get another guy that knows when you got one midwife and she fucks up, she's looking at the husband. Yeah. The husband's going,
I don't know what to do.
I don't even know how this is happening.
I'm stressed enough.
Yeah. This is fuck. So that's my thing is you can always get backup in a hospital.
Yes.
With a midwife, she comes, she's drinking a little later. You never know when you're going to have the kid. No.
And this wasn't even the midwife that was supposed to show up.
You're going to the bench now?
Yeah, you're going to the JV squad for this shit?
As soon as I hear that they got to get to the G League, I immediately think, okay, I'll just go to the hospital on this one. At that point, you're so deep and you don't have like an actual like doctor that you're prepared.
And I've known people who've done the whole midwife thing. For me personally, I completely disagree with it because it's so much more dangerous in my opinion.
It's just fucking, and it's the kind of thing like they used to do that 200 years ago, and then more babies were living, and then it's like, but it's fucking scary, dude. It is. And my house, scary. It's not like I disinfect everything in my house. At a hospital, everything's disinfected. Yes. It's very clean. Yep. One, she starts out on the floor. And then She might as well have made her do laps around the block. She goes from the floor to the bath to the fucking bedroom.
know.
And she's running around. In the hospital, you're in the bed.
You're in the bed. You're getting ready to.
They're not asking you to go downstairs.
No, they got your legs up. They're propped you up. You're ready to get.
You're on all kinds of fucking drugs. You're not feeling a goddamn thing.
Nope.
She felt it all.
Of course she did.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. Phenomenal acting again, though. By Vanessa Kirby, because the birth scene was very authentic
And good
in my
prosthetics
opinion.
too. The stomach looked very
Yeah,
real.
it did. It looked very real. But man, heavy to open up this film. And then, we get the reveal of Shia LaBeouf's character and that he's, eventually cheating on his wife.
Yeah, he's who would have thunk it? A piece of shit.
Yeah. We saw some Shia LaBeouf dick in this too.
Of course.
We did.
He's not afraid.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not afraid.
But that scene too, when him and Vanessa are trying to, he's trying to have sex with her, and she's like,
That's a
"No,
brutal
no."
scene, too.
It's very brutal. It's sad.
Yeah, that's one of the scenes that felt very structured. Like they had that written in. It wasn't just being played very loose with these two actors going in, putting it all on the table or whatever. That scene, the scenes like that are the best scenes, like the courtroom drama scenes and whatnot. Those scenes feel very structured and very real, while the rest of it, again, feels very, very loose, where it's just like them going and just going off. But yeah, I liked the element of not really knowing if the midwife did fuck up or not. Mm-hmm. Just kind of knowing that if you have a midwife, it's kind of hard to tell.
It is.
I mean,
she was checking the heartbeat, but was she doing it enough? Was she going through all the protocols?
Did she call the ambulance soon enough?
Right.
Probably not. She probably could have saw it. But does that warrant manslaughter?
Right. Does that warrant you being
When she's
in prison?
doing everything she can?
Yeah.
Or did she really fuck up? I'm glad that there wasn't like a concrete answer to that.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't completely demonize midwives.
Yeah, and make
'cause,
well, and not even that, but just made her like the villain character when there doesn't need to be a villain.
There doesn't need to.
Because they are already trying to make the mom the villain character.
some really great scenes though.
She does
between
great,
her
too, yeah.
and Vanessa Kirby. Some really powerful scenes. One the table scene when they're in the
Ellen Bernstein is in a lot of stuff, and she might get nominated also.
very well could.
Yeah, but yeah, there's always some kind of internal struggle between how some people want to grieve and how other people want to grieve.
Right.
But my God, let the woman who had the child grieve however she wants to grieve.
Yeah.
Why has there got to be so many fucking cooks in the kitchen with this kind of thing?
Well, not only that, but it's like, she wanted to donate the baby to science. It is her child. She has the right to do that. I understand everyone grieves differently.
Yeah.
But the grandma was even like, no, we must bury it. We must give it a plot and everything. And it's like, okay, come on. It's not your kid.
I know.
It's not your kid. Like, if she wants to give it up to science, she should have the right to do that.
The best scene, though, was when she was, because you get why she says that, when she reveals how her mom gave birth to her in like a field or in like Nazi Germany
Yeah,
or something.
she
It
was
was a
part of that.
wild story. And
Yeah,
she's
it
like,
was.
and I came out fine. And then that's not something good for Vanessa Kirby to hear. It kind of crushes the soul a little more. But yeah, you get kind of the reasoning behind why she's so obsessed with, getting this baby in the grave. But yeah, let her donate. For one, no one really knew how the baby died too. So you could possibly, that was her thing, you could possibly prevent this from happening again. But the whole like Apple shit was very like film school. Just
Apple.
yeah, the apple analogy of her. Remember, she gets the apple seeds, and she's trying to make them grow to prove that she kind of. Remember, she puts the seeds in the fridge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
to kind of show that she can still produce life.
Yeah,
it's, it's
Well, and they
it's
did
not
that too.
super clever.
Right. They did that too with the plants around the house. They were all dying and decaying.
It just felt very film school kind of like, oh, this will be real dramatic if we put this in. But
when you really didn't need that. I mean, you could have even just looked at the
No.
performances. The performances were dramatic enough.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then, and I don't think you needed the final scene of, spoiler alert, she ends up actually having a kid, and then she climbs the apple tree. That she's obsessed with apples now.
And the first thing I was thinking is, are we going to go Ari Aster here? Is that kid going to fall out of the tree and just be dead?
At that point, you do gotta.
Or like a Tumbad where they do the close up of the kid.
At that point, you do gotta hang up.
the gloves.
The gloves of having kids.
Having kids, yeah, just it's not for you. It didn't work out. Let's
it's just
quit
not,
trying at this point.
But it's brutal, man.
It is.
It does a good job of showing just how impossible it is to keep a relationship going if something like this happens. Yeah. I don't know what they could have done. I mean, obviously they could have talked a little
They
more.
could have talked. They could have communicated better.
There's obviously ways to get over this, but
Shia LaBeouf, I mean, could have not cheated on his wife and then left her.
well, with cheating on your wife with your cousin. Who's also your lawyer. I thought that was kind of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I would say so a little bit. Representing your family members.
What did the court kind of...
Like, no, look, he's innocent. I swear.
Yeah,
aren't you related to him?
I thought that was kind of a... Yeah, I thought maybe there would be some kind of interference with that. But, yeah, let's talk about... there's a very famous director.
There is.
This film for zero reason other than the fact that he's a famous director, an indie director.
Right.
As Benny Safdie plays Shia LaBeouf's brother-in-law.
Chris, yes.
Or is it's Vanessa Kirby's brother-in-law, which is
one
Shia
of them.
LaBeouf's brother-in-law still. But yeah, he's barely fucking in it.
Just talks about some music.
Yeah, and
that's
just
it.
surface level fucking. They talk about the White Stripes too. There couldn't be any like deeper bands that you could even. But yeah, I don't get why he was in it at all.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice. I mean, he wasn't bad in it by any means. It's just like
You could have added anyone.
you could add anyone into it
and paid him a small, unless he did it for free.
Yeah. And then comedian Eliza Schlesinger, which I've seen her stand up live before. She's pretty freaking funny.
And I gotta think they just got her because she looked like Vanessa Kirby, right?
Exactly. But again, like she didn't do a bad job.
No,
Like,
but
I thought
she
was
doesn't have that
fine.
many lines in it. She actually has more lines than Benny Safdie.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, I don't really understand why they did that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either.
But and to be fair, Vanessa Kirby was also cheating on Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, yeah, she was. She was.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
I mean, that relationship was dead.
It was done. It was done.
But yeah, everyone. Yeah, and I don't know if you need the side plot of like Shia LaBeouf being a blue collar worker also, but he also had like drug and alcohol issues because every blue collar worker, you know,
Of course.
you're working on a bridge, you got to be doing fucking Adderall or something on the side.
Best lawyer in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Gives you blowies. Gives you
Yeah.
cocaine or whatever the fuck.
Well,
that was.
I think he brought that actually. But she wasn't
Nonetheless,
stopping.
on her desk. Yeah.
she was-
I mean, hell. Shit. And represents you. It's quite the.
Yeah, that is a good
trifecta.
lawyer.
It is a good lawyer.
You're not going to find very many lawyers
That
would
is
do
a dedicated lawyer.
Yeah. But yeah, there was back and forth. But they did the best thing about this film was just the eternalization of Vanessa Kirby and how she dealt with it was again similar to Manchester by the Sea.
Yes.
Is how he dealt with it also. But yeah, what's more depressing?
Not much, man. Children dying is pretty fucking depressing.
I know, but yeah, what film? Manchester by the Sea or
Oh. I would have to go Manchester by the Sea.
I think so too.
Yeah. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't want to, the specifics about it is he had, was it 2 older children that he burnt alive?
Yeah.
I just feel like that. But if I'm going to say, I do think Manchester by the Sea is the better film. If I was going to watch something again, I would watch I don't
For
think
sure.
I will ever see Pieces of a Woman again. I just can't imagine I'm in the mood. But Manchester by the Sea, I think you just get a lot out of it. One of the performances in Manchester by the Sea,
Incredible.
from everyone,
Yeah.
is just fucking phenomenal. But it has
and
more
it
story.
won
to
a
it,
lot
too.
won a lot of awards that year too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. But that's one that I haven't seen since we watched
have
it.
I.
But I could see myself watching that film.
You know,
again.
we did not review that on the podcast. We were supposed to, and we never did. That might be a good one to review one
We
day.
didn't.
We both saw it.
Yeah,
but
we
we
for
never
sure-
reviewed it on the podcast. It was one of those movies that we were going to. We both watched it for whatever reason. We didn't review it back then.
Maybe because it was just too fucking
Probably.
depressing. That film is, it is the embodiment of grief.
Something interesting about this film too is the title card for Pieces of a Woman did not come up until 30 minutes into this film. Half an hour.
Well, yeah,
until
it gets
the
right
calling
into
card.
that baby birth.
Yep.
That's that sets the tone for the whole film, I guess. You got to get in it. But I'm glad I do kind of like that they got into it instead of, usually most films you'd get some time with the couple and show like they have
Their relationship.
which maybe would have added a little more to the film, even if you showed just a short scene that they were like very close, because you never get the fact that they were
on good terms.
You almost get the fact that she married him specifically in spite of her mom, because her
she
mom
did not like her mom.
Because the mom hated Shia LaBeouf.
She was willing to pay him off to leave her.
That's a brutal
That's how
scene
bad-
when he leaves.
Yeah.
Because he's not a great guy in this film.
No, he's not.
That scene when they go to the airport and he gets out and he kind of thinks about it and then he opens the door just to throw his fucking hat in and then leave. Oh my God, dude. Vanessa Kirby's strong.
She is.
Strong enough to break down right there.
Yeah.
Or drive your truck off a fucking bridge right there.
Did you know? Did you know this was their second film working together?
What did they...
It was Charlie Countryman.
Oh, right. That's early on.
2013, yeah.
Yeah. We know Vanessa Kirby because she was in Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Mission Impossible Fallout. Yeah. And she... Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. How do you forget about that classic film?
Maybe you can't give her the Oscar because of Hobbs.
Because of that. You know what? You are blacklisted from the awards because you were in that film.
You know what? Your application looks good. You look like you... Wait, what's this on the bottom?
What the fuck is this?
Does this say you were in a Fast and Furious franchise film?
Get the fuck out.
You gotta go.
Sorry.
You gotta go right
We
now.
can't do this. Actually, as a matter of fact, you're never going to work again.
Remember she played Jason Statham's sister
Or whatever, yeah. Fun times. Go back and listen to that because that was like one of the only drunk episodes we did where we were drinking before that podcast.
Yes.
And we just shit on that movie the whole time. It was a lot of fun. We got to bring those back.
Great actress. I hope she never does anything like that again.
No, hopefully not.
I hope after this,
Because she's a phenomenal actress. She does really good work, but
yeah, you don't want to see her wasted in
no.
a Hobbs and Shaw.
You don't need it anymore. You're an established name. Do these types of films because like this is definitely award-winning worthy.
Oh, absolutely. And I hope she does get at
So do I.
least
A
a
nomination.
nomination for that. And then that will set her up to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
To where she won't have to do those fucking Hobbs and Shaw. Because I guarantee she's set up for being in the sequel. Right? I don't know. I can't remember how it ended.
I don't
I know
remember.
she didn't die. I know no one dies.
No one dies in
unless you
Hobbs and
die in
Shaw.
real life. Then they kill you off, but they just bring your
CGI
brother
your
in.
face. The disrespect.
Just a light touch. Hollywood
fucking
never
believable.
too sensitive about those kind
No,
of things.
they're not. And then see you again.
Oh, that fucking song, dude.
Anytime that song, I have PTSD from that fucking song.
I know.
Do you
Because
remember?
it's been memed so many times of him driving
Oh
up and then
my
someone else driving up.
Dude, that song
I'll
was.
see you again.
Who was that? Wiz Khalifa and someone else?
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa, I think, just did like the rapping parts or whatever.
Bro, that song, after a while, it was played so much that
Yeah.
I was like, I never want to hear this again.
And every time anyone did like a Paul Walker montage video, that fucking song
always was the backtrack to any montage or anything. And dude, like people were like, still, oh, Paul Walker. And I'm like, guys, it's 2020.
Yeah.
Like even last year, I'm seeing Paul Walker, we miss you. I'm like, guys.
They were in that sad with the fucking months after he died. They just CGI. We still have to be sad. It took them 20 days to be
get
like,
over it.
It was heartbreaking, guys.
But we got to make
gotta
$1 billion.
keep this train
Yeah.
moving.
Look, this is a cash crop.
I heard he had a brother, perhaps.
I don't think Vin Diesel's doing much outside of this.
No.
I guess he had that Bloodshot or whatever that movie was called.
Yeah, he does. Every once in a while, he'll come out with a passion project. But yeah. Vanessa Kirby, you're up there now. Let's not see the fall, okay?
You want to hear one of the executive producers, a name you might be a little familiar
Well,
with?
that's why that's kind of the main reason I heard about this film in the first place was because
Martin Scorsese.
yeah, executive. Which I don't know. Maybe he was just around the neighborhood, New York, Boston, and he was like, "Fuck off."
Sure, I'll throw my name on this. Why
But
not?
there must have been. I can't imagine there's much to this script though that he could have read and been like, "Oh my god,
Right.
this is a great script."
Yeah.
Because there's very little, besides, again, that first 30 minutes, there's very little substance to the story. It's just character development that you're watching. There's no other kind of story going on.
It's kind of just the journey of Vanessa Kirby's character just dealing with this severe tragedy.
Yeah. I got to think on paper, there's just scene, 3, breakdown. Like, she breaks down. Like That's the only thing I can read. Because, again, it just felt very loose and kind of art housey for sure. But great acting. That's the biggest thing from me.
Biggest takeaway?
But great acting does not automatically mean it was a great fucking film. You got to have all around great. It was good, but it wasn't.
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask you. Like when you talk about this film and with other people, and they ask you, Cash Kraus, would you recommend watching this? What would be your answer to that?
That's a tough one. I'd say the performances are worth it, but you're not going to get a lot of. Most people will probably just be passionate about this film because it has such a strong premise.
Yes.
You know, I mean, not strong like it's well written, but it's a woman
like
that deals with
one of the most traumatic things you can go through as a woman.
probably the most traumatic thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we can't really fathom it because we'll never carry life inside of us.
We are worthless on that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
We only deliver life.
But okay, so I guess if it was a lady, I'm going to be kind of sexist here.
Okay.
If a lady asked me, I would probably say, yeah, you know, you'll probably get a lot more out of this than
just
a truck driver.
2 chat-offs.
Than some guy named Bill who drives an 18-wheeler. I can't imagine him sitting, but I don't want to.
He seems more like a Hobbs and Shaw kind of guy. Okay, if in all fairness,
I don't want to defame truck drivers.
Right.
But this film is definitely not for everyone.
No, it's not. And it is kind of, you know, I agree with that.
But
It is
man,
kinda
if
like
you
an art
lost a
house film.
child, I still don't know if this film's for you because it's
Ooh,
kind of the worst case.
No, yeah, you don't, because you would be living through a lot of trauma if you were.
Well,
to
yeah,
watch
but that could
this
be
after.
very therapeutic too.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's like the best. You know, I hope anyone that goes through this goes through it has more support than Vanessa Kirby
Yeah,
did.
these characters, absolutely.
Yeah, because no one was fucking supporting her at all. Was there anyone? Everyone was kind of just telling her to get over it.
Her mom sucked. Her husband sucked.
Sister
Her
sucked.
sister sucked.
Benny Safdie,
sucked.
he sucked. He
He
started
just wanted to talk about music the whole time.
He started yelling at her at one point.
He did.
They really just jump on her at any fucking point. It
Yeah, and she's just trying to deal with this. And I, you know, she's trying to deal with it, you know, as best as she can.
She's kind of trying to forget about it.
She
and
is.
no one, that's the whole trial thing, is like she wants to, you know, you go through a trial, you're reliving it every single fucking
Of course,
day.
every small detail they go through in court too.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Which
you
I
got to
can
be a
imagine.
witness.
The mom was not thinking about that.
Of course not, because she
Thinking about
wanted
herself.
justice. It wasn't, and that's what I loved about that is some of the good dialogue in this, in all fairness, was that relationship between the mom and Vanessa Kirby, where her mom wanted justice. That's what she wanted, but Vanessa Kirby wasn't interested in that.
It was the kind of thing where her mom wanted justice because she thought it'd be better for her daughter in the long run. When I gotta say, no one really knows what's better for you than you.
Yeah.
Not your mom telling you to go to a very long fucking
Drawn-out
trial.
trial.
Yeah. It's gonna be, and it was
And
heavily
obviously
publicized. It was on the
yes,
news.
It was ridiculous. She's walking in. There's freaking paparazzi or whatever you want to call them, reporters and stuff everywhere.
It can't be the first time something like this happens.
No, dude, no.
I got a lot of home births. You know, probably like 1 out of 10 don't go so well.
Probably not. No.
But unfortunately, but yeah,
For me, I have a little bit of a different take. Drama films are typically like my first or second favorite genre of films. I did like this. I do agree with you. The film was not perfect, but I would recommend this for a one-time viewing. I think it is worth it.
you're not going to watch
flaws.
this movie more than once.
No, I'll never watch this again.
You won't unless something like this happens in some kind of circumstance. You may just fucking watch it, maybe to feel better about your circumstance.
Yeah,
because I'm sure you're probably doing a little bit better than she was.
And she was doing. Yeah.
But yeah, I know I like dramas too, but you know, it's easy to just throw in a baby's death into a drama and just say it's a drama, then just have the movie revolve around that. But this was a movie very specifically just about that one instance. Yeah. And then they kind of try to make it a trial, kind of a courtroom drama at some point as well. But
I would have preferred a trial by combat, but
it's the one good thing about the writing was they make you feel bad for the midwife too.
yeah, you sympathize with her a little bit.
Yeah, you don't feel like
She's a villain.
she did it for malicious purpose. Right. She wasn't going in there to kill a baby. And you can also tell when she delivers the baby, she's just fucking like relieved.
Yeah.
It also kind of tells you that if you're that scared,
Probably an inexperienced midwife.
Maybe go an ambulance.
Maybe
never hurts to have backup.
No, it doesn't.
You know?
No. Maybe be an intern or whatever a little longer.
Yeah, I don't know if they intern.
Well, whatever it's called. Second in command. I don't know. I'm not a midwife. I don't know what they're called.
Here's bottom line. You can't get your original midwife hospital. Just to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
There
That should be the end all be.
I understand having a midwife, but if you can't get the midwife,
Get your ass to a hospital.
the closer,
the one you want in the ninth inning.
batted up, clean up.
Yeah.
You don't want the one that's been sitting in the bullpen for 9 years.
Don't. Not even warmed up. not even warming up.
Hasn't even thrown.
Thrown in cold. Not a good idea.
No. So that's just so fucking scary to me.
Yeah.
It's so fucking just that fact that people even do it in their homes.
Wild. I'll never understand it.
A lot of people do it, and a lot of people have success.
To each his their own, but for me, I do not understand it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, your baby can die at a hospital too.
It absolutely.
And then when your baby dies at a hospital, you're thinking,
should have had this.
we had all the resources in the world. What went wrong here?
Yeah.
So it's very complicated, and it makes me just never want to have kids, dude. It's so fucking stressful.
It was stressful watching this, and I was like, damn, dude, all of this you got to go through. It's a lot. This is heavy.
It's a lot. Yeah. And then you got to go through 18 years of that after you have the fucking kid.
It's true. Yeah. You got to raise it. You got to be there for it.
A lot of sleepless nights, man. Yeah. A lot of sleepless nights. But that is not Scintilla. I always want to do Pieces of a Woman.
Pieces of a Woman. Yes.
On Netflix. You would recommend it to everyone.
I would. Yeah. Just for a one-time viewing. Again, it's not perfect, but I think it's worth a viewing, especially on Netflix. Like, let's talk about Netflix films. Typically, they're horrible.
Yes.
I do not categorize this at all as a horrible film.
But
because the performances alone were worth a viewing.
And this is one though that Netflix did not produce. It just picked up the rights. So I don't think Netflix has still made a good production movie.
No, of course not. But at least it's on the platform.
Exactly. Yeah. As far as that goes, I guess it is one of the better ones for sure. Because, but yeah, I don't see it getting nominated for Best Picture.
No.
But I do see the acting roles getting nominated
for sure.
All right.
All right. Well, that is our review for Pieces of a Woman. If you guys like what you're seeing here and you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. If you want to listen to our podcast in audio format, you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our social media pages, Twitter, Seen It Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Have You Seen It Podcast. And if you guys want some Have You Seen It merch, you can find that link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.